In Genesis 28, we see that there is this ladder. There's this dream, if you will, of this ladder, and we know for a fact that God is above the ladder. And we know for a fact that the ladder comes down and the ladder touches earth. We know that. And so, according to this passage, we know God is above it. It touches the earth. And we know that Jesus somehow identified this is the point or the true application of spiritual gifts. And then Jesus came and he said this to Nathanael. Well, Nathanael, here's a spiritual gift. You applied it. You identified me as God, but let me tell you something still more. Nathanael, I'm the ladder. I'm the ladder, Nathanael. When God descends earthward, He comes through Jesus. Hebrews chapter 1. But the prophets of old, they spoke, and here in these latter days, I speak through Son. That's what the passage says. So when God comes to earth, He uses Christ. When we go heavenward, we go through Christ. That's the point of spiritual gifts. Is not so that people walk around and say, yeah, God must be God. That's great, but it's lacking. It's lacking because it leaves out the gospel message. And the truth that Christ is the way, the only way, the truth, and the life. That is the point. That's the application of every spiritual gift. Troy, what are you saying? Are you telling me that if I use my spiritual gift and somebody says, yeah, because you use that gift, there must be a God, that's lacking? I'm saying absolutely that's lacking. Because it never gets to the point of who Christ is. The way, the truth, and the life. And I don't want you to miss it as we go through this series on spiritual graces. So, Troy, what are you trying to say? Just like I said last week, God's grace for mankind is the gospel. And according to 1 Peter, we are supposed to be what? Good stewards of God's grace. In such a way that every time we apply our spiritual gift, whether it's giving, whether it's faith, whether it's encouragement, whether it's administration, whether it's videography, whether it's working on cars, whatever it is, you do that with the purpose of stepping towards the gospel of Christ. And then you will have applied the spiritual gift in the proper way. So I want you to see that this morning. The gospel is the beginning of spiritual gifts, and it's also the telos, the chief end of spiritual gifts.